with really awesome stuff, even if it's tiring. You know what I mean? So, I think that's the best I can do. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, girl. You know what I mean?
Hi.
Hi.
I have a question for you.
I hope so.
What made you decide to become an actor?
Ooh. I started acting when I was about 7. And my brother, who's not in here, he wasn't here, he could tell you that even from a really young age, like 5, I used to act out really weird, off-the-wall skits in our kitchen at dinner and stuff. Like, oh, there goes Ian again. And so I wanted to do it from very, very early. And I started doing it, I think, at about 7. And my mom would take me around and do local theater and auditions and, theater in my school. And it was always very dramatic, little sucker. So I never didn't know. I was too young to know why. I know why now. Just because it's inspiring. It allows you to express a lot. Even if you don't want to be a professional actor, if you ever want insight to an interesting process, which makes you, kind of forces, let me rephrase that. It allows you to be very present wherever you are, and it also allows you to listen. Because most of acting is listening. And it's, I think it was Lawrence Olivier was saying, to say it's not acting, it's reacting. Life, when you walk into a room with someone, you're having a conversation, you don't know how that conversation is going to transpire. You don't know what's going to happen. That's life. And acting, you know the script, you know where it's going to go, but you have to somehow, single-handedly or collectively with your other actors, make it new every single time. That's a challenge. But if you ever really want to have any insight to that, go enroll in an acting class. I'm telling you. It's a very interesting process. You've got to come way out of your comfort zone and do some really silly stuff. But I think it's good. I think it's good for people, whether you're an actor or not. If you're in management, if you're in restaurants, if you're in university or education, I think it's a really interesting, I recommend it to everyone. And a lot of the best directors and producers and writers in the business all went to acting classes because they wanted to see on the other side of the spectrum what it looks like. So check it out. I mean, I don't care if you're a banker. Go jump into an acting class and you'll quickly see how cool it is and how scary it can be. But fun.
Hi, Ian.
What? Hi.
First of all, I want to thank you for encouraging us and for
To take acting classes?
encouraging us to go out there and help the animals. We have talked a few times.
Yes, we have.
What I do in Arizona. So my question to you, I understand you got a new cat.
What's that?
You got a new cat?
Well, I tried to steal a cat,
Right.
and it didn't work. I tried to steal a grumpy cat, but I couldn't get her. You know, it was really crazy. The co-secretary of ISF was sitting in this room. Jessica Ramsey and I went to South by Southwest Interactive last weekend, and it was the most phenomenal meeting of minds I've ever seen. It was like TED conference, but in Austin, Texas, with bourbon. I mean, it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I met Grumpy Cat, and I looked at the analytics of how social media has allowed us to communicate. This kitty had 52 million mentions in one 24-hour period. 52 million. That's insane. And so, what are you doing, woman? And I said, that is totally crazy. Ooh, I don't want that.
Water?
Do you know that today is, yes, this would be better. Thank you. Here, will you take this one for me? I don't even want to be seen on stage with that. Thanks, Devin. Thanks for putting me in that spot, Devin. Today is National Global. I'd rather just
Tomorrow.
or tomorrow it is. Yeah, sorry. No bottle day. And at least it didn't work. The idea is that we do not want to be using plastic bottles. We don't need to be using plastic bottles. We need to be using reusable bottles. Because this stuff, whether you like it or not, ends up in our landfills and it ends up in our oceans. And because of saltwater degradation and solar degradation, it's getting into the DNA of plankton. Guys, that is not acceptable. And I think one really cool thing that we can all do is inspire each other to not use plastic bottles and drink water. I think it's the craziest thing that there's this amazing picture. I'm going to try and find it. Kim, the executive director of ISF, sent me this picture. And it's this little guy, and he's in Africa. And he's looking at this woman who's working with some nonprofit. And you see the look on this little kid's face, like, what? And the caption is, you have